Yeah. The other thing too, we had a fireboat named, the Joseph Medill, for going back. He was mayor of Chicago, for 2 years, etc. And then they got a fireboat named for him.
But again, that's the Chicago Tribune,
That's the
because
Tribune
of his connection with the Tribune.
In McCormick Place.
Midway, I believe, was originally just Chicago Municipal Airfield.
Exactly.
And it was named for the Battle of Midway.
Battle of Midway, yeah. And I bet people say, oh, it's Midway, in the country between the East and West Coast. No.
You got to stop and realize that this is Chicago.
Yeah.
And that's the way things are done here.
Yeah, right.
That's the Chicago way.
You know what? I did research, because of the Chicago Fire Department protected Douglas Airport, and they did have a big fire out there in '44, and eventually we had to put fire companies out there. It's sort of just fascinating the way that whole thing developed out there, because it's not. In fact, it was sort of interesting when Chicago bought it at war surplus. Can you imagine? What do you want to buy? 640 acres of something or other. They had
O'Hare.
And they had one runway because they had to be able to, test the planes and fly them off.
Do you know what the city paid for it?
No,
$1.
$1?
Really? It's official, legal,
Yeah.
Just made it legal. I would have given them 10, 20 for it, would you?
Right, yeah.
That's up for bid.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, and then they had to connect it to the city. They didn't know how to connect it to the
That is
city.
the oddity right there, the connection.
Yeah, they connected.
The road going out there is Chicago, is that it?
Well, it was Higgins. They annexed Higgins Road, but not the property on either side, just the road.
Like an appendix going out there into the...
And then when Chicago organizes Engine 10, by the way, they're in a firehouse that's not in the city. They're in because the military side was not annexed when the city annexed the rest of it. So we had a firehouse that was outside the city for a number of years.
And it leaked something terrible.
Yeah, I was out there. Yeah, we had two different. We
hated to get detailed out there.
Yeah, that company was out there from 55 to 62, so 7 years was not in the city.
Yeah.
So the city can do anything they want.
Well, sure.
Yeah. So.
Well, you probably know legislation, anything that's enacted in the state of Illinois that might impinge on Chicago contains an exemption for any municipality of 500,000 population or over.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Probably 1 million now.
It's not just for Chicago. It's for any city that's 500,000.
Right, yeah.
The Exchange of Services Act of 1957, which went into effect in '59, that's what merged the Park District Police into the city, and there were exchanges. The city took over.
Yeah.
The Park District took over those little play lots, and the city took over the boulevard, because that used to be the boulevards was always the parks before. So that also said of municipalities of over 500,000. So.
Yeah.
It's not just Chicago. It's any municipality.
Yeah, right.
I think Peoria might have made it or something since then, or Rockford, one of them.
Not 500,000.
No,
no one's even close to 500,000.
Even now?
No.
200,000 the most.
Yeah.
Such power exists.
Yeah.
For a long time, I think about 100,000 was the next
Was
closest.
probably Oak Park and Evanston and
Springfield,
and, and Chicago's been losing population. We're like what?
Yeah.
I can't believe
they're under 3 million now.
Yeah, like 2.6 or something like that.
Well, if we lost, then someone must have gained.
Someone is
along the
gaining,
line,
right? Wow.
Which brings us up to our next gain is called a 2 o'clock break.
2 o'clock break.
Hey, John, we're throwing it to you.
Yeah.
So we having a good time, everybody?
And you are listening to Meet the Chicago Historians. We are broadcasting from the Fire Museum of Greater Chicago on the south side of Chicago at 5218 South Western Avenue. And today is Monday, October the 10th, the year 2011, or 2011, whichever fits your fancy. Hey, what are you doing tonight, or what are you going to be doing this week? How about taking your wife, your girlfriend, your fiance, or even your mother-in-law? Take her out and enjoy a great meal. And you can do that at Sarantos Village Restaurant, which is located at 2318 North Manheim Road in Melrose Park. Oh yes, Frank and Sam will be more than happy to entertain you and serve you a beautiful meal. And guess what? Monday through Friday, from 11 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they have a great luncheon buffet. So if you want a real good meal, and I tell you, I can vouch for it because I've been there many times myself, at Sarantos Village Restaurant, which is located at 2318 North Mannheim Road in Melrose Park. Their phone number is area code 847-455-9440. It's on Mannheim Road. It is south of Fullerton Avenue by about a block. It's on the west side of the street, and they have got a huge parking lot. They can probably park about 200 cars in their lot over there. So for all your great, if you really want a great meal, stop out at Sarantos Village Restaurant, 2318 North Mannheim Road in Melrose Park, and enjoy their great food. And if you decide you want to have a party, a banquet, or whatever, they can accommodate you. They have plenty of rooms over there that can have your own little banquet, or else, if you want to do it at home or do it somewhere else, give Frank or Sam a call, and they can cater it to you. So that's, again, Sarantos Village Restaurant, 2318 North Mannheim Road in Melrose Park. You can call area code 847-455-9440. Well, I think we'll go back to Jack Ryan and continue on with our broadcast once again. I want to say to Ron Smolin, thank you for supplying us the music, Chicago, and also to Terry Hodges for stopping in and visiting with us today. And, of course, a very, very good friend of mine I've known for many years, about as long as I've been with the 511 Club, and that's my pal, Jack Connors. So, again, we are here at the Fire Museum, and right now I'm going to turn it back to Jack Ryan. And, okay, Jack, it's all yours.
Attention, class. Back to order now. We're coming into the far turn, if not the home stretch. So I had a question before, Ken, maybe you can answer. You said that building was the Inglewood fire station and police station?
Yes.
Was that where you were with the fire alarm then, or?
No, they had, when we annexed the town of Lake, we took over the fire department took over the north end of the building,
Okay.
Oregon's Engine 51, and the fire alarm office for the town of Lake and eventually for Hyde Park was on the police side on the second floor. And
The
then
town of Lake was a township. It's still a township.
Still a
Yeah,
township, yeah.
Yeah.
And then eventually in 1916, the fire alarm office at 6361 South.
That was the next question. Was Inglewood an independent community, or was it unincorporated, or what?
It was just a section, as far
Yeah.
as I know, just like you have, Chicago Lawn today.
I remember seeing some old ads for new homes in Inglewood, I lived in West Inglewood as a kid. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Suburban Inglewood, I guess
Yeah.
you call it. West Inglewood.
And the name Inglewood was associated with that area around 63rd and Wentworth, and it was on the building in stone.
Mm-hmm.
And our fire alarm office, which is, even though they're not there today, is still called, the South Side Dispatch is called Inglewood, like on the radio, Maine to engine, or Inglewood to engine 123, so.
My mother graduated Inglewood High School.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
In Florida, there's a town called Inglewood, and there were developers from Chicago. They have Indiana Avenue, Wentworth, and
Wow.
Dearborn Street. And,
They connect to Chicago, if you
Of course.
go down Indiana Avenue, you wind up in Florida. It's strange.
Well, I remember in the few years before I was on the police department, I was coming home from, it was then Bogan Junior College, high school and junior college, so they had the evening classes there. And this was during the time when we were having the cities were going up for grabs, riots. And I was stopped at the train at Southwest Highway, and I hear on the radio, Inglewood is rioting.
Yeah.
So naturally you think your own community. was Inglewood, New Jersey. But they didn't say that. So that was kind of like, it brings me back to, my dad had mentioned when, either I was a new baby, I guess I was a young baby
All
at the time.
babies are new.
Yeah, well, I'm a new one, so it wasn't a used one. But my mother and my older sister Joanne was 4 years older than me, had gone down to 63rd and Halsted shopping when they were at 44th and Shields. That was the big shopping area.
Sure.
Big shopping area. So that was when the tanker and the streetcar collided.
Streetcar, yeah.
And that was at 63rd and Wentworth.
Yeah.
On the radio, they said 63rd and Halsted. So you know the hell he went through for a while.
Yeah.
Is my wife and daughter okay and all that? Yeah. So.
It's actually at State Street.
What year was that?
May 15th of 50. Yeah.
50? 1950? Okay, I was 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was 4. So.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I going to say you were talking about? Yeah, well, that was, you were, go
But that's,
ahead.
we had
I'll
mentioned
think of
that
it.
one.
Yeah.
What was the name of the company, Ken, where that they were delivering that fuel and it exploded?
Oh, you mean Mickleberry's?
Mickleberry.
Mickleberry,
yeah.
Is that
On
the
State
one?
Street? Was that? No.
No, that was at
Halsted? Oh, yeah.
49th Place in Halsted, yeah. Yeah, that was, talk about, here's a building on fire, the fire department responds. Firehouse is only 2 blocks away, they're still there, 50th and Union. They pull up, they got people on the roof who have evacuated the building. And what happened, they didn't realize that a tanker truck was delivering gasoline, I guess, to because Mickleberry had trucks, they were sausage and meat purveyor, and it somehow got into the furnace tank, and it caused a violent. In the meantime, it started on fire. Truck 18 gets there, they start rescuing people, and then they have a tremendous explosion, kills 4 firemen, I don't know how many civilians, injures about 50 or 70. Talk about shrapnel. It was blowing all over the place, Still a vacant lot to this day. Still a vacant lot.
And then they had another tragedy not too long ago after that, was when that CTA streetcar got hit by a truck or something and pinned everybody in the streetcar.
That's what Jack was
Was
talking
that,
about
you
at
mean
first.
the gasoline tanker?
Well, there was two of them. There was Mickleberry's that would had the explosion, and then there was also the people got trapped in that CTA streetcar.
Are you thinking of the L accident at Lake and
No.
Wabash?
No.
Where the L cars came off the track?
No, this is another incident.
No, I don't recall
You're thinking
that.
about the one on State Street, at 63rd and State Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
okay.
that's the one, yeah.
Yeah, they collided with a tanker truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
that
yes,
killed
yes.
everybody in the streetcar.
Yes, that's right. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and they had 4 or 5 buildings.
So
on
we
fire.
had we had two tragedies down there, at Mickleberry and the streetcar accident.
Yeah, the streetcar caused some changes in the people could not get out through the the windows.
That's because the doors had opened in.
The doors opened in, and
Yeah.
they had these railings or
The door,
guards,
actually, the doors needed the power.
and they needed power
To open.
Yeah,
Was that one of the Green Hornets? Or,
Yeah.
Which was actually special made for Chicago, I understand.
yeah.
They're like 1.5 times as big as a normal.
Yeah.
Those were leaks.
Did Mickleberry's ever come back?
I don't think so. I don't know if they even used the name. Does anybody recall buying any?
I remember hearing them advertised as
Mickleberry
Mickleberry's
hams.
a lot.
There are Mickleberry hams. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
involved with a Thanksgiving raffle every year, and they always have Mickleberry hams.
Oh, yeah?
Well, maybe they just like Oscar Mayer
They're
is
a
no
well-known
longer in
brand,
Chicago,
at least at the
but
ham, they're
they still
well-known.
use. Yeah, they still use the brand name. Yeah.
Like, all those Packers were basically near there. They had mansions and whatever. It was just like Old Man Armour. He had his mansion over around 37th and Michigan. They say he used to walk every morning to work. You know why? Because if he ran, people would think he was swift.
Whoa.
Da-da-da-da.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Boom.
That's probably got to be explained to quite a few people out there. But,
See what we have to put up with here?
that's what killed vaudeville, they
I
say.
don't know.
We're going to make, after an egg like that is laid, we'll have omelets after
You know
this
what?
program.
He's a South Sider in the South Side,
Yeah.
so he
And
wakes
he's a
up.
ham besides.
He's a ham, right?
We were discussing ham.
Yeah. You remember that movie, Mr. Blandings Builds
His dream
Dream
house.
house.
And he's trying to think of a slogan, yeah.
Supposed to be on this week again.
Oh, yeah, it's a great movie.